Have you ever considered why the world is shaped the way it is? How all our hierarchies, our values, our societies, or rather the structure of them, became the way it is? Think about it. Well, it's because of us. It's because of the stories told to our past generations, which then were the stories that were taught to us, which molded our values, our perceptions, and ultimately impacted on the decisions we took in our lives, which eventually contributed to shaping the world. On a shorter scale, stories are only a feature of narrative. Narrative can also be film, as well as a book. Regardless of its form, a narrative an individual composes is based off an idea the composer wanted to express. A narrative connects people within and across cultures, communities, and historical eras. It inspires change and also consolidates stability. It reveals, affirms, and questions cultural practices. It shares collective and individual experiences. It celebrates aesthetic achievement. Through this, our world is shaped. Narratives broaden our minds. They are tools that shape the world we live in because we use it to shape the world. The context of the narrative may be different to our own, but when we read, hear, or watch it, we have our own perception of it and thus conceptualize it based off or impacted by our own values. The application and utilization of these ideas shape our world. Social structures are ingrained into our minds. It affects us in many ways, and if individuals are on the unfavorable side of these hierarchies, their lives are immensely negatively impacted. Muriel was someone who was raised in a family where social status was valued. It created a family dynamic that valued materialism and superficiality, as seen in the dad. The fact that his concern for his social status overrides the concern he should have for his late wife depicts how materialism and superficiality was valued over family relations. In this dynamic, social structure was mirrored. The father had the upper hand and showed superiority over the family because he had the highest social status. The family members ended up being highly demotivated and thus disadvantaged. Muriel, a member who had faced the same demotivating comments and remarks from her father all her life, began to feel neglected of acceptance, as she was not accepted by anyone, not even her family. Excluded from her social circles and her family, she wanted to fit in and succeed in life, to prove everyone wrong. She wanted to prove that she wasn't going to be in the lower class of the social structure. But in doing so, she still accepted the social structure that was the cause of all her problems in the first place. The movie conveys the irony of fitting into social structures and the value we place on them, allowing it to define success. The kitschy nature of Porpoise Spit reflects the popular yet shallow nature of the world we live in. The vibrant colors in the backgrounds of most scenes reflect the loud yet meaninglessness of it. During the club scene, the fake nature of the friends, and Muriel at times, is depicted through the lighting. Notice how the blue light glows on half of their faces while the real color is shown on the other half? This is a metaphor for the two-faced nature of not only her friends, but also of Muriel, because she too is pretending to be someone she is not, to try and fit in with the group, fit into a higher level of the social structure. Social structure is such a relevant concept. It was there in the past, it's here now, and it will be there in the future. The movie explored social structure and its impacts through various filmic techniques that allowed us to pick up on it. It was shaped by the social structure of its time and influenced by the social structure of its context, structures that are still in place today, and thus conveys them throughout the movie. My perception of the messages, values, and ideas it conveys is that I can connect with them because of my own context. I can connect in as much as that I can understand why Muriel felt the way she did and understand the reasoning behind her actions, her exclusion from society, and her extreme actions like compulsively lying.
No.
To then fit in is extremely uncomfortable to watch
Anyone
because
I
the
know?
symbol of marriage as success stands out to me and makes me realize that it's not such a foreign or extreme concept.
Turkey.
In my culture, within my family and friend circle, marriage is seen as mandatory. I could never understand the real reason why. My understanding was that marriage was a milestone in life that must be passed in order to move on further in life. Muriel's wedding conveyed the value of marriage created by social structure. It conveyed how the reason behind marriage being so important was that being married meant being liked by someone.
Now you're
When
a
I watched the movie,
success.
I connected with it
And
because
someone wants to
I could
marry
apply the
you.
values and attitudes of my context to the ideas and
You're not
values it
nothing,
conveyed in the
Muriel.
movie. Muriel's wedding was shaped by the context of the film, by the social structures of the time, the high value placed on marriage and social class, and conveys those exact ideas through filmic techniques. It shapes our understanding of the world by showing results of the living according to society through Muriel's attempts to achieve success by getting married. In the end, she realized that true success and happiness doesn't always lie in marriage and sets off on her own journey.